Believe we live. Thanks everyone for joining us. Friday. I know this is one of your favorite spots to be. Uh, it's just me and Mr. J. So we are going to dissect. I think some people will join us. Some people also have other conflicts, but we will do our best to interesting. It was playing in my ear. But anyway, this topic that we bring this difficult topic. Now it's easy. We just want to know these things, and so we want to discuss them. And so hopefully you can join us with questions and everything. So, Mike, the first question we would like to tackle is this: should the Western world, i.e., the Western world, share their technological advances with African countries? So, should the Western world share their technology uh, with African countries? And this question came about just to figure out maybe if they have some obligation to do it, or maybe they don't have to. So Mr. J, Julian, what do you think? Should the Western world share their technology with African countries? And if they should, which kind of technology? If they shouldn't, which kind they shouldn't? So let's say I'm an African. So I'm an African. I'm in Africa, born, raised, lived there. You are in the West. You have developed something, technologically speaking. Should you share it with me?
No, why would I ever do that? I don't know. I just don't think like people are just gonna share their like technology with someone else. That's just dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm,
I think it's a competitive world. You know what I'm saying? So like, why would I want to like share my technology with someone? Granted, I'll be willing to share my technology if I was like willing to get some permission from someone else. So I was like, hey,
okay.
so I think it'll be a catch. Like, okay, here's some technology.
Good point.
It'll be like, by the way, we're probably collecting some data off of your technology, see how you use it, you get some information from you guys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think anyone's out there giving out free technology without getting any kickbacks. You know what I'm saying? There's always a catch. Just what
Mm,
things they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that this world, technology is a precious thing. I think we take it for granted most of the time.
Good point.
Like we, like most people, like most countries are not sharing their top technology with anybody because it's like a national
mm,
security risk
Great points.
at the same time, and you don't know what that other person or country could do with the technology that might be even more like like I would say like worse for you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
hmm
I think there's certain things that can be shared, but most of the time there's always a catch, basically.
okay. So you say if they share it, it must be what is it? Reciprocal. They must get something in return.
They are getting
Prefer, yeah. Okay. If they share it, they are getting something in return. Okay. But don't you think the world would be a better place if technology is being shared across the world so that every country can develop, and so maybe some countries don't take loans, whatever, because they already
no.
have the infrastructure. What do you think?
I think okay. So I think what like I don't think that's how like people think. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like um, it's a competitive world. You know, it's competition. I see it as at the end of the day, and I just don't see that anyone's okay. Hey, I want to develop your country for you for free. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't
Mm,
happen. Like
Good point.
you know what I'm saying? So like yeah, can they share some technology? Can they give you some like some computers or MacBook Pros? But even then, like the country give you that information, I there's how do you know they're not recording things? You know what I'm saying? There's something in place for the reason why they do the things they do. No one's it's like doing anything for no reason. You know, it's always a reason for the action. You know, Like it's not just like they like they want to be nice or anything like that. It's just that it's something that they're trying to do or they want to invest in the country for a reason, you know?
Good point.
For my submission, should Western world share the technological advances with African countries? So in the ideal world, I think there's two competing thoughts. There's a real world which is competitive.
Mm-hmm.
It will be almost insane for somebody to share everything that they have developed through years of dedication, resources, human resources, and to just give it as a freebie handout. But that's not a real world. Um, and so you have that, and then you have the euphoric world when people think that maybe there might be some obligation for these countries to export their technological advances. So um, the world could be a better place. However, that's what will be whatever. But in reality, um, I mean, I guess there's a notion of equality, right? And so if we all believe in equality, then nobody should be asking for handout. The greatest, I think every continent has the greatest technology, which is the thing between your ears, the brain. The brain is the greatest technology. And so it's all about the application and the desire to advance that. So should they, I mean, nature doesn't work like that. There's competition. You find it everywhere. There's hierarchy, as much as we don't want to we don't want to accept. There's hierarchy even in animal world. And so you just have to figure where you want to place yourself by choice. Nowadays is by choice. And so I think they wouldn't. Should they share it? I mean, sure, maybe, depends what it is. And definitely they are sharing it, they are getting something also in return, whether knowing or unknowing. And also the image it portrays. If we're looking at the next generation and we are saying that the black men or the black people are able to control their own affairs, but in the African continent, what you see is just the importations of foreign technology, then that is contradictory to when you're trying to tell people that we can handle our business, but then we are borrowing everything and hand out. That doesn't add up. So if we believe in true equality, and we believe it, then we must be all. It would be nice if we can also give some technology to Western where they can also exchange. Something that we have proprietary. So then there might be some respect on in that transition. But should they live in the real world? They won't. So you better get to work and start doing your own thing. They would. They wouldn't. They wouldn't do it. And if they do it, they will get something in return at much greater value than what you think you are getting. So I think we need to, develop our own technology sector to and create something that will be more valuable in the future because it's coming. Technology is going to rule the world. It's ruling everything now, but it's even going to be more critical in everything we do, from how we grow food, from how we move, how we travel, how we move money across the world, and everything's all going to be tech based. So I agree that it's competitive. Nature is competitive, and every species will put themselves in its place according to what they choose to do or not to do. Now, the second question is, how can technology transform Africa? So, if you look at Africa, what are some of the technologies that can really, transform the way we do things? Hopefully, not all technology are good, But what are some of the things that could maybe make things more efficient and stuff like that? What do you think?
I think the number one thing probably would be digital currency. Um,
Okay.
I do think that's going to be something that could be a game changer, good and bad,
Okay.
but it'll be a game changer in, in many ways. Um, I do see technology is so much different technology out there. I couldn't tell you. I know that the digital technology is going to be the biggest thing for most people,
Mm-hmm.
but there's other technologies too that
Mm-hmm.
some significant change in the Western
Mm-hmm.
country. But I do think that once we start going digital, that'll keep people start getting more tech savvy. The reason why I say that because you gotta learn how to use the digital stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone would be forced to get more tech,
Good point.
which would open the eyes to give me to more different technologies. I think like
Mm-hmm.
the digital currency is opening up the gate storm for more than what people are expecting people to do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because once they start to play with this technology, they're going, oh wow, what else can I do? I think it'll
Mm-hmm.
open my mind. You know, yeah.
I think the transformation is just everywhere infrastructure. Um, I think that there's key things. Obviously, your financial market, you want to have influence in that, in the systems and platforms, in the healthcare sector, in the telecommunication sector, in the infrastructure, so healthcare in terms of inventions and um, diagnosis of diseases much more quickly, and pharmaceuticals, improvement of medication with less side effects. And so I don't see anywhere, even the human to human relationships, we can improve it to a little, to some extent. And so I think it's a necessity. It's a necessity that makes, is going to make either the continent or the individual countries a little bit more competitive in a global one, because I think it looks like at the end of the next 15 years, maybe 20 years, it's going to be about 10 companies in the world just having running a lot of stuff. It's going to be multi-trillion dollar companies that is going to run pretty much the world, because you can see the consolidation of these big companies, like even what Amazon is doing, stuff like that. They just expanding to other areas outside their primary initiative and stuff like that. So tech is everything, man. Tech is life. Is here to stay. It's good. I love, because we're looking at global warming right now, effects of climate, and in our place there were diesel, man. That smoke, anytime I smell that, it's like I'm like, man, stuff. Like, it would be nice if we have a lot of electric cars. Like I think
Listen, forget that. We have to fix the roads, man. Listen, I can say before.
we're gonna buy, we can buy flying cars and it would just skip the road.
Listen. Digital currency is something that I can see happening, but electric cars, not anytime soon, man. Like, man, imagine being an electric car on. Listen, like like I said before, man. Let's fix one thing at a time. you know, like, yeah, I know it's good to dream big, but I think we gotta put things in perspective.
I am optimist. I'm
I know
hoping
that's
for the
great,
first electric car, man. It's like I want to get one. I think if well, I think the two things will be
bro.
the charging stations, how reliable it is,
Why do
and then
why do we fix the electrical problem at the country before people get an electrical car? Like, man, do you know how bad? Like, do you know you know what I'm saying? Listen,
now I don't know what you say. We get SUV electric cars, it will deal with the road.
yeah, right. Where you gonna? Where's the charger stations gonna be?
Well, that is the thing.
Exactly.
Uh,
Listen,
so that's the thing.
even the electric cars here are not. I would not invest in those things because they're not even where they need to be yet. You know what I'm saying? Like this 30 mile, like, and then you got to charge. It's not.
No, because my neighbor has one Tesla. Is what is it? 300 miles. Hmm?
The Model 3.
X or Y or whatever one of those. And you gave me a right idea. It's cool. It's pretty cool. It's something I've considered because it's like, pollution and stuff like that. There'll be more cars on the road in Ghana every year. There are more cars on the road. And so you look at the congestion and then the pollution aspect. And that is why investing in technologies, if we can.
You should buy a Tesla SUV and take it to Ghana, and let me know how that goes for you.
I'm thinking. I was looking at the Tesla bank, right? The power bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my thing is, if I can get my solar to power that thing, right? Then you go off grid. So I'm just thinking in my head. I haven't done the calculation in terms of how much energy output from the solar and how long it's going to take. Whether it's going to be adequate. Because sincerely, I would not trust ECG. They'll blow up those things.
But it's not like that. But what happens when you leave you can't really go far then. Like you get to go.
No, but so let's say you get something which is 400 miles in a city. Yeah, you're not going trips on those. No, it's just a city. And then so you go and come back. Yeah, a day you're not going 400 miles. You might stay in traffic for some time, but it's just so you have that, and then the diagnostic.
So what happens when the car needs repairs? What are you gonna do?
But that's one of the things too. But I think the way one of the things the way is built also too is it's a lot of software driven. So it's about troubleshooting. There's not a lot of mechanic work. You don't want to take your Tesla to Kwekumen to be working on that. Unless Kwekumen has the skills and stuff like that. But other than that, you come back and it's still ripping and you try to look for the engine. There's no engine. As a car off engine, right? And so David, take it from here. Maybe we can actually let's bring you back to this one. Because you made this first question. Should the Western world, David, for you, share the technological advances of African countries? What do you think? Should they share? And if they should share, which one?
That's never happening. It's never gonna happen. They can share some with us. They will sell us some, but I don't think they will share their technological advances with us. I remember some countries used to those days. They give us opportunity those days that I think they're still doing it. Even for medical doctors to come and learn medical advances. I think in Ghana, they used to go to Russia, Cuba, and other countries. I remember those days. And even sometimes in the United States. But when it comes to technology, unless it's a cake and unless it's deemed unclassified, if it's unclassed, then they will share it with us. Look, so one time I saw Nigeria buying aircraft from the United States, right? So 1965. The type of planes we are buying, and the question is, even if you buy the tech, do you still have the man to maintain, right? And one thing is all the advancements that we get here, whatever comes out, there's like 6 of them already following to come out. It's just waiting for patents to come out. And those are like the issues why. So I don't think they should, because first of all, I wouldn't say we are their enemy, but it's not an enemy. Africa is not an enemy. It's like I mean, you are my competition, and I'm not gonna give you all my advances. So that's not happening. I don't believe it's ever happening. Can you ever imagine? Can you ever imagine American president going to Ghana for medical? You know, if we have the tech and they're going to Ghana for that technology, you know, I don't think it's happening.
But wouldn't the world be a better place if they share everything?
So that's the, I'm trying to find a word for it. It's like the happy day type of world. That's not a world. Let's be clear. The world doesn't evolve like that. There's got to be somebody working for someone. There's got to be Africa being drained right now. There's got to be some country being drained. The world being a better place in what sense? That's the question. In what sense? What are we talking about? You know, we're living good in America because other countries are helping us by slavering themselves. It's like paying them less than $1 in certain countries, and certain countries not making that minimum wage. You know, we live in a country where you can buy gas, you can eat, literally even free at a point, you know, which is not like that in other countries. So the world cannot, I don't know who has a mindset that the world could be a better place if we share technology. I don't think it's yeah. I mean, well, I don't know what, yeah, somebody said some of the tech giants are leaving China, you know. Yeah, I mean, I remember back then when the United States are shipping their jobs to China, to some point, the Chinese kind of took their technology and then they started building upon it. But trust me, they still have their own techs. They still, fairly advanced. There were things that was allowed to build outside the United States. The top stuff were held back. So I think that is one of the things that. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I think that's. So
okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
How about it? How about now?
Is it better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good. Okay, then we're gonna KK, you can put in questions, and Joe, thanks to so this one then should impose they share or Africa develop its own technology, which would be best? How would that transform the continent?
Okay, so they share which of the technologies. Are we being real, or we're just going with your question? Because that's a good one. Because I'm going to give you an example. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with your question, right? I remember back in high school, this is Ghana, right? All the stuff that we were studying, right? It's like, what are we doing? You know, we're studying Dalton's theory and Archimedes' principles. Those make sense. Mm-hmm. But how do you apply it? You see, we got all the knowledge.
Good point.
We collected everything. They gave us all the principles. But remember, these principles, right? They are like a high level of understanding how a computer works, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to get this. So like siphoning, right? They're creating systems, different ways that we use Bernoulli's theorem and all that, right? My point is, we study the theory. We never got the opportunity to apply the theory. So back, like the way you're saying that, how can technology transform Africa? Yes, in clear mindset, we're good. If we get the real technology they have here and we say we're going to share it, Africa is going to do well. Mm-hmm. But to whose standard? Even if they share it, who controls it? One quick question. If you have the tech, how do you allow the tech to communicate? So one quick question. Apart from South Africa, who else? Which African country has their own satellites? Or their own data centers that belongs to them? I'm trying to understand. Maybe in Ghana, I know there are certain small companies that do have their own data centers, but are these data centers connected to that big data center, what we call internet?
Yeah, MTN.
So,
yeah.
My question is, who controls information in and out, even if they give us a technology, even if they offer it?
Good point.
There's been so many times that they're collecting data from African countries and we don't know because we think it's free, and we always keep oh, America for about UK for about right? Then we go, we offer, and then we take the things, right? Not knowing said, yes, they're giving you things, they're giving you phones, they're giving you cheap things, right? But then, quick question: if you go to Africa today, there are phones coming from China, a lot of phones coming from China. Have we ever asked ourselves if we're being tracked, if we're being monitored, if we're being listened to?
Good point.
I remember those days they flooded the market with those fake phones. Those days, not having a touch screen, they flooded the market with it. So they will try to make something that looks like Nokia or like an Apple phone. But at the end of the day, those issues were there at the end of the day. So are they tracking us? Are they following us? What is going on? Would they give it to us for free? There is a, you see, before you give something to an American kid, they want to know, say, are you going to hold me to it? They ask questions. The way they will interrogate you, because they don't want free things. That's not how their mindset is. So if you say, how can technology transform Africa? Yes, it will help us a lot in the greater good, the greater mindset. It will, medical wise, it will advance us, right? When it comes to businesses, if we build better, a grid system, a better electrical grid system, right? Electricity is going to be cheaper, right? Per production. Production is going to be cheaper. Transmission is going to be cheaper. Monitoring is going to be cheaper. Yes, we're going to have electricity. And Kwalaya won't will begin to learn. They'll have the opportunity to learn. They'll have the opportunity to explore things. Third one, they will get internet, right? Internet is going to be free. It's going to be a little cheaper, or it's going to be, I wouldn't say free. It's going to be a little cheaper, right? They will get opportunity to explore, research, do questions and exposure. Being in terms of fast processing, advancing in biology fields and all that, it'll be great. But at the end of the day, the amount of freer, do you even understand it? Do you even acknowledge it? That's one of the things that, yes, we can grab all this information, but today, if America ships all technology to Africa, would they even understand it enough? That's my question.
So when you were saying this thing, I was thinking the mindset and the attitude, the reason why we don't care even if they're tracking us necessarily. Think about it this way. You only care to protect something when you think you have something of value, right?
Yeah.
If you know you have something of value, then you're going to protect it. But if you know you, what are you on the ground? So, because I'm even selective what phone I buy and where I buy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I understand what is going on and what apps I put on it. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes when I get some phones, I take a lot of the apps. I don't, uninstall a bunch of them out.
Tony,
and
let me ask you a question. So wait, so you don't think that China has data on U.S. citizens or keep track of U.S. citizens?
So it's not they keep track, it's exponential. So every country is trying to do it.
No, they do though.
No. And the US also have like 10 times that.
No,
so
that's not the point. I think
here's the point. The point I'm trying to say is this.
I asked you a question. Like, you see, asked you a question and you came in asking me like, "Well, we have 10 times." That was like, I never said
No.
question.
No, because
Do you know that China does have data on U.S. citizens?
if I'm betting, they probably do to some extent. To some extent.
No, they do.
To some extent.
They do. Because
Okay.
do you know what is this eHarmony? Not eHarmony, but what's this thing where Ancestry.com thing? When
Yeah,
they
whatever.
go do DNA, they ship it to China for them to do the analysis and ship it back to the company. You know that, right? So China has been keeping DNA information about a lot of U.S. citizens. So when you have that type of information, so we should all think that like we also be aware that like China does have information about everybody. Like technology.
No, but no. The point I'm trying to say is there's a difference between somebody using Espana to access information, and then there's a difference between somebody who doesn't have countermeasures to prevent it or whatever they get, because even if they get that information will still leave the country. So whatever, even though the information gets out, they know what information that is collected. So you spy on me, I spy on you, whatever. And then we're gonna hide the things that we think are more valuable. In our part of the world, they just spy. We can spy. I don't think we even have one spy from Ghana in this country. I don't think so. And if he's here, it's in Manhattan buying fake Gucci at 125th Street, Harlem. So the point I'm trying to make, and even with that is what US prevent certain Chinese devices, apps from operating here. And there's certain things they build domestically, and stuff like that. But our part of the world is a dumping ground for everything. People come in there. The defense house, the Ministry of Defense in Ghana, was built by China. You know that whole place is bugged. It's bugged to the teeth.
No, but
You think the United States will allow China to come build a building here? No, that's
wait. You think China doesn't build anything in the United States?
You think the United States will allow China to come build their Ministry of Defense here?
No, I didn't say that. No, but what I'm saying, China owns a lot of buildings and have like properties. Like
They buy the buildings and they are renovating. But I can guarantee you, there's hotels that they bought and they are renovating. And when they bought that hotel, when they bought Ward of Astoria used to be a place for all the dignitaries when they go to the UN conference. That is where they stay. When China bought it, most of the European personnel in the US do not stay over there. Because they know it's being bought.
But why would China buy that? Or why would China buy
It's competition. You want to know what your adversary is doing. If they don't do it, they're stupid.
So exactly. So they're basically coming here to what? To get information.
And what do you think we're doing? We're picking our nose.
Did I say? Listen. Why are people you're saying what everything we're doing, picking our nose? Like I don't understand this whole thing. I'm telling you something, and then you come back with the well, we're doing it too. That's
no. The point I'm trying to make is that if China has information on us, that's not new. The US also have information on them. China has information on Ghana. We have nothing on them. Nothing. Zero.
How do you
we have zero.
I think, sir, he asked a question, but you answered it. I don't know if you guys seen this. There's a show on Netflix called Spycraft.
Yes,
I think I said this the other time. Mm-hmm. Look, all these superpowers always are at each other's neck. Please, let's all get it in our head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're all trying one way, shape, or form to track each other, to know what each other is doing.
Because they have something value to protect.
That's one, and because their mindset is there. Like they've matured. I wouldn't say matured. It's like the thinking of our people is like we first, because when you're hungry, you can't think. Honestly,
Shots fired!
when you're hungry, you can't think. At the end of the day, you know, Charlie, that's why they will blame Akufo-Addo one time for buying armor vehicles for the military when they accommodate, you know. So to some extent, I understand them, you know, I do understand them. But I would say, sir, they're tracking us. One thing that I'll even add to it is Huawei, right? I don't know if I'm saying the word right.
Yeah,
they tried it.
Huawei,
Yeah. They tried it, and we caught that chip that was sending the data to China, you know. So as I'm saying, you know, as China is selling these phones in Africa, giving us all these technologies, especially if you go right now, apparently there's this Chinese all these medical equipment they use back home are Chinese made. It doesn't mean the US wouldn't even track us. Already normal tracking. We already know that. We agree with that. But we've made China an enemy for tracking us. You know, it's like, you know, Africa, if China is tracking you, you've been tracked already. You've been collected and drained by the US and the UK and the French.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, what are we learning out of this? Can we learn as Africans and say, look, we can completely go blind eye and accept the technology, but put ourselves in a way to protect the value that we carry? Can we do that as Africans?
But the thing
You
is,
know?
that, David, how can you protect something where you actually for handouts? You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna protect myself, and then you go into the people
Great points.
and then bend it backwards for some money. Bro, it doesn't work like that. It's like a pimp. Like, you know, like, we're gonna pimped out here.
The truth is, the gap is too wide, bro. The gap I'm talking about.
Is that there's not even like a
Okay, let's move on to the third one.
There's not even a competition that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a child and a mature adult. You know what I'm saying? It's not we're on the same.
We didn't show up. We didn't even show up to the competition. That's what it is.
We didn't have to show up. We already lost before we were born. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like, you don't have a chance to even compete. Like, don't even show up to work.
We're gonna change that. Okay.
When?
We're gonna change it.
Hey, Tony is about to change that, man.
We're about to change it, man.
Maybe in 1,000 years. You
the African Elon Musk is right there. The African one, the African version, yeah.
So, what about this one? Can you take this question?
This third question is easy. We've got the world's resources in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking it out cheap. So why would they? I mean, what else would they need from us apart from the resources?
Good point.
I said more.
They don't need anything else, and they're getting it right now for cheap, dirt cheap, because our ancestors sold us out. I mean, what else? We can't give them anything in return. We can't give them anything in return.
So what would they want? I mean, I guess back in the days that you can say they want the human labor part, not can be replaced by other groups who do the work. So they wouldn't need the human capital. Maybe they pick super geniuses, whatever. Even that can still be replaced. So I guess what is it? The resources, right? Some of the resources that they feel like is going to be cheaper to get with much less work, or maybe experiment on the continent with new kinds of. That's a whole different topic. New kinds of medicine and vaccines and
okay, so can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, jump in.
You know, the resources, I think we should forget about it. That is done. They got it. They done. It's now the Chinese turn. They come into, just milk us. That's their turn. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Now,
point.
what the Western wants from us is number one, data.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They want a lot of data from us. And two,
Great
they want
point.
us to be, they want instability in Africa. Instability being economical. And if I want to break this down, it's a lot,
Mm-hmm.
right? Economical, political,
Mm-hmm.
education.
Great points.
So we'll give you the education you think you need, right? We'll make sure you go in circles, right? Because we'll give you all the theories, right? Because you did not invent the theories.
Mm-hmm.
If you get someone's theory, you can recite it. That's what we do best in Africa. And we applaud those who do well in those, right? So we'll give you all the theories. We'll keep you in to be educationally unstable, right? Economically unstable. So unstable, so then not making unstable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you will get to a point where out of okay, so when we frustrate you economically, when we frustrate you educational, your education, when we frustrate you in like
Political. Mm-hmm.
a lot of things, right? At the end of the day, you realize we'll frustrate you with technology too. This is it. Let me say this. Right now, all our friends back home, episode 3 G-Wagon, AMG GT, they want to do this. Out of the frustration, you see these big things, right? What do you want to ship ourselves to other countries and come and work, make money? We feel like we're doing better than the ones back home. At first, they used to come for us as slaves. We said, no, don't come. Now we'll bring ourselves.
Volunteer.
We'll volunteer, no, don't even hassle it. We will ship ourselves. We'll come and pay to come and work. That's what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And now, the third thing I want to even add, because I don't want to, the instability, it's so big, I don't even want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But they want us to be errand boys, right? That's what they want in return. So, hey, we'll give you something small, right? Just make sure, when I tell you to do this, you do it. Tell you to do this, you do it.
Good point.
If I tell you to take this one out of power. So I think these are the three major things that they would want. And you said one last thing, but that's why I didn't want to add to it. We're going to be like a test. What do you call it?
Guinea
experiment.
pig.
Yes, guinea pig.
Yeah.
Which they are doing it already. They're trying to find malaria, Drew. But then at the end of the day, can we think about this? When they find malaria, Drew, right? What's the point? Why would Bill Gates want to figure the malaria, Drew, in Africa? Isn't it that they will use us to figure it out? When they are done, they will kick us out because you got federal soil. We've messed up this place, and we'll be buying the lands in Africa. We're building all the data centers so that we'll make it comfortable for people to come here. Go back, malaria, Drew, we got you covered, Could it be possible that they want to make themselves a better place here? Did somebody like Akon saw the idea and says, look, I'm gonna build me a Wakanda place, so if you have something and you don't even know the worth of it, we'll still use you to do the errand boy, to do the guinea pig, to do the experiment. We'll make you unstable and you never believe in your people. And exactly, somebody said chase our tails. So I think to me, that's what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay. The stability, bro, I don't think they have to do anything. They can all you gotta do is watch us do our own thing. They're not to be punished, man. It's not like that unstable. The economy, education. Listen, they don't have to do nothing. It's already unstable. Nothing is getting fixed.
They do. So let me explain this. They do. Let me give you some of these the high level stuff, right? Example, if I come to when you go back home, we're giving the authority into the kings, the chiefs, right? If I get the head, I don't need to cut the tail off. All I need is the head.
Yeah, control the head, control everything.
Yeah, if I get the head, I don't need. And that is why, look at it this way. before we even fought for independence for all these countries, for Africa to be independent itself, who has been doing their errands for them? Our own people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they find ways and means to let people believe in themselves. Say, look, you could be the next president.
Great points.
Why do you allow this man who's as corrupt like this? If you do this for us, we'll put our support behind you, and then you do this.
Yep.
We control the internet. We'll frustrate the people. We've given them the internet. We've given them the access. We'll make sure we dump all the information in there. But all I'm saying is,
David, let me add this before I forget. When you go back and look at most of the people that overthrew the first independent, the African leaders that fought for independence, it is about 90% illiterate, like the people that did the coup. You can see that they were not actually fit for the job, but because they got so like, listen, this guy, for whatever reason, you are a better candidate, and then when they get in there, they have no idea how to run the country. But that is also part of the plan.
Yep.
Right. You see that in Liberia. You see that even in Ghana itself. You see that in all these countries.
So Tony, so are you trying to say, I'm not saying it, but when Jerry did the coup, you think the United States helped him to do that thing?
No. But somebody helping, not the United States.
But that's what I'm saying. So I feel sometimes is this.
No. But you know why he did the coup though?
Hold on. I think what can happen is that the outside forces can see, okay, this is gonna be something happening. You know what I'm saying? And they can agitate it. They can put it into play. You know what I'm saying? They can go and destabilize it. But I don't think they have to do as much as people think they have to do. Like, I think they can just small little things, and then like, dude, this is already gonna break. You know what I'm saying? They're unstable. So all you gotta do is just make a little bit of chaos, and they'll do it to themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what we are all saying. At the end of the day, we all say the same thing. I believe that to some extent, right? What you're saying is true. It's like, if that's what we said. He said, "We'll do that job for you. We are the errand boys, right?" You see, I had this saying somewhere. It said, if you are not the one that, there was a man, he was on YouTube. He said, if you don't have the grace, he said, if you are not the one that builds something, you will not have the capability to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, to do a research and come up with the drugs and come up with all these science and stuff, you go through a lot. You see, that's what Africa still struggles. If you don't learn how to do things by yourself.
Can I say something real quick, Dave?
Oh, you got it.
That's one of the reasons why America does not mind sending jobs to China, right? You said something very important here. China can reverse engineer all they want. It will never be the same, right? Do you know how many Chinese cars there are in China? Homegrown. You can buy a brand new Chinese car for $5,000. It will last you about 3 months. The U.S. doesn't, they will give you enough so you can manufacture it.
Yep.
But they won't give you everything. Because the money that went into the R&D, they're not ready to.
Yeah, DAPA is not shipping stuff over there, man.
I think you said something profound. It's like the R&D. I'm into tech, so when you said that, look, bro, it's sad. I don't even want to talk at this point because there's no point. Like the topic we are treating, man.
Look at your iPhone. What does it say? Designed in California by Apple, manufactured in China. right? That means they give them the footprint and they manufacture it due to Apple's specifications. I'm sure over time they can replicate it, right? But it would never be the same.
I think I'd like to say this one last thing, right? You're right. They would do that. But you know what China is doing? They said we can't get to your level, but we'll produce it in mass. Right? So one sense,
Good point.
military
And do
wise,
it cheaper and sell it cheaper.
military wise, right? These people are trying to beat the US by ship and by planes and all that. They have it. But flight, you finish the gas in 1 hour. You can't go the long flight. But you know what they can
because
do?
the jet, the engine. You see, that is what it is. Every plane, military plane, capability is based on the engine, and the engine are just these two countries that are good at, which is Russia and US, and they keep that thing so deeply held. And you can make the design, the body may look like that, but the engine is not gonna get it. It's not gonna. Okay. Now this question, which is almost personal: do we have a moral obligation to share our secret to success with others? So let's say, Joe, you come up with a way to fly faster, quieter, have the gas, efficient. You've taken about 30 years to design this. Do you have any moral obligation to go to somebody and say, "This is my work. Here you go. You can have it"?
The human side of me says yes, right? You have a moral obligation because we're all living on this one planet. And if we mess it up, we all suffer. So the human in me says, yes, we have the moral obligation to do that. But, we're humans. We're selfish. I mean, that's what it boils down to. The United States will not share the secrets with anybody. If they can fly faster and cheaper and cleaner. The truth of the matter is they will keep it to themselves for a long time and maybe license it to somebody else, right? But giving it to you, no. I mean, it's not the United States of the world, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep.
They wouldn't. And you said something too. I was thinking about. I said, sometimes too is just if the word was authentic and as good as it can be, then I think you will share. But sometimes when you share, it's competition. Your competitor is trying to use what you've given them to be better, right? And overtake you, or in some case suppress you and stuff like that. So that makes it even sometimes. I have seen this before. There was an incident in which a Russian submarine lost contact, and they lost connection, stuff like that. And I think the US knew where it was, and they offered to go and extradite them from underneath the ocean. The Russians refused because it was a new sub, right? It was a new submarine that the Russians have built. Because obviously, when the US go there, they'll pick up those things. So what they end up, so they died in the process, right? And so it's just sometimes too, like when we grew up, when back in the days, when let's say you have a family member who is good at medicine, right, has the knowledge and skills, usually they'll groom somebody, right? They'll groom somebody in the family, show them, okay, if you get malaria, use this leaf. If you get fever, use that. And then before they die, if they have something else, they give it up before they die. But it was, you never saw like, before they die, they'll call one of their nephews, say, you come here, I'll teach you everything I know. No, they don't. They really don't, because what are the chances that one, they have the capability and understanding, or even if it will be of value to them, right? So sometimes they took it to their grave. So sometimes there's reasons why people keep, and sometimes they think like, hey, I'm gonna live for a while, you know, and then they just die with them. So if the world was a better place, then it will make sense. Like, you know, people are sharing the secret for advancement and health and success and all those things. But it's just like it's not. You know, sometimes, hey, despite is not showing all his business prowess, because the next person he takes him will try to be despite, not compete, but trying to outshadow them. So, Julian, what do you think? Do we have a more obligation to that?
It's a hard question, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I agree with what Joe said, you know what I'm saying? We're all human beings, so like, you know, like I think it'd be morally wrong if someone had the like
Good point.
that had the like the vaccine or something that can cure cancer and didn't tell anyone because, like, you know what I'm saying, they just didn't want to like help anyone out, you know what I'm saying? So in some aspects, I think we should, you know what I'm saying? Like even with the COVID-19 vaccine, there's a patent on them, and like they didn't want to release the patent so people can replicate the drug, and they wanted only the people that had the was 4 people that made it were only ones that wanted to distribute around the whole world, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, we would have gave us the patent that we can make more doses that we can cure the thing everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But it became more about a money thing than anything, you know what I'm saying?
It's always about money, you know that.
Yeah. But this is life we're talking about, you know? Like they're saying everyone get vaccinated, you know what I mean? Like we want to cure coronavirus, but they're like, okay, but we only want you to buy from us. You know what I'm saying? And that's
only well, the only objection I have to that is this. If okay, here's the thing. There's a lot of money and expertise that went to that. So you got to contribute. Those countries that want for free should bring something to the table too. You can't just be sitting out there, man. Listen, man, my tax is going up. It's like we can just.
Wait, how many people died in the U.S.? How many people died in the U.S.?
I don't know what is it, 600,000, something like that.
And it was over 1 million people died of this thing, and you guys are worried about the amount of money you guys put into things. It's not like you're not gonna make a bunch of money anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's like self-interest comes before the betterment of society. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it does. Or it will.
Well, but if you look at it this way too, though, is if you look at it this way, ideally, look at it from this perspective. Like how much phone calls we get from people back home to support them. So, because this question will be like, are we morally obligated to support all these people because we are doing better than all of them? And the question is that they also have the will, right? They also, because sometimes, listen, I believe you have to be a contributing human being. You shouldn't just live in a world just eating, drinking, and having sex. I think you must contribute as a human being. And I respect the people who sacrifice and give away certain things so that all of us can benefit from their invention and all those things. Those people should have the best of the world. Those people should have more money, should have a lifestyle because they've earned it. I'm not about redistribution for everybody because it's a moral thing to do. But people have not.
But the thing is, I'm not talking about. That's why you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about redistribution of wealth. I'm talking about life and death here. It's a different thing. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Take the the money out of this thing. I'm talking about if you have something that can save someone's life, and you're like, no, if you don't have this amount of money, I'm not gonna give it to you. That's wrong.
No, give me a specific. So, okay, let's say the vaccine, because you brought the vaccine up.
Okay, let's say I had the vaccine. Let's say, for example, let's say I had the vaccine for cure coronavirus. And I'm like, okay, if you don't have $1 million and up, I won't give it to you. You think that will be okay because I sacrificed?
Paying the money. Yeah, pay him for what it's worth.
You
Pay
sure
him the
about
money.
that? Are you sure? You sure you
No,
want
no, you no. So no, so you are saying that he's saying that if you don't have $1 million, you don't get a vaccine.
if you're not, let's say, if you're not a millionaire, you're not getting a vaccine.
Well, the kidney, we're gonna be selling kidney fast to add up.
But that's what I'm saying, because like since I made it, and you know what I mean, I put all the work, I put all the money inside. I can get to decide who gets it, who doesn't.
But that's how the world works, though.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's not like, okay, it's if that's the case, then when people enroll in college, we just give everybody degrees. Because that would be even, right? That would be even. So the thing is that because here's the thing.
But Tony,
the African countries or the countries that receive the free vaccine. Let's take the vaccine for a point. Okay. So one thing you'll be like, oh, they're trying to kill us. They put something in the vaccine, right? The another thing is that there's a moral high ground that the world, because the UN health, whatever, the guy said that it is immoral for us to get boosters when most of the people in Africa does not even have one vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So the question I have was this. So they're telling me the whole continent, we couldn't put we can't even build a one capable scientific research center to be working on any of these things.
bro,
Because here's the thing though. If you are not willing to do what you must do for yourself, then you deserve what is coming, because the person that's giving for free can put whatever he wants in there.
But Tony, it's not necessarily. I mean, the U.S. is giving lots of vaccines away, right? But I understand we have to take care of us first before we can take care of anybody else.
Correct.
I understand that, but at the same time, they're also allocating some for the rest of the world. I think personally, and again, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. has the obligation to help the world because a sicker world does not help the U.S.
Okay, so but that is what they are doing it though. If they are giving it, it will be a strategic thing, right? So the moral obligation, then that's what I'm saying, that if we push this to micro, then we can say we have a moral obligation to take care of everybody in our family, no matter what the situation is, no matter whether we need to go get 3 jobs or 4 jobs, because by virtue, chances are we're probably doing better than most of them back home. So there's this moral obligation. And what I'm saying is this thing, is that you have a moral obligation to also improve your environment so you don't become a permanent dependent, because you're relying, you can't say that, because you can't say that we don't trust the vaccine in Africa, right? Because they might put something in there, but
Yeah,
you are going there to go
but you
get a
don't have
handout. You see, that's what I'm saying. So my thing is that, listen, if you are begging, I can decide what I give you. Nobody give his best stuff. I mean, that's common sense. You don't give your best stuff away. You don't.
Man, you mean.
No, you don't.
Yo.
We know, Joe, when you go to Ghana, we know the type, you're not shopping at Louis Vuitton for gifts and stuff like that. We go to the, $5.99 t-shirt.
Of course.
That's right. Because you work hard and you sacrifice to able, so nobody's going to give the best stuff. So my thing is that if Africa thinks about its survival, and you have somebody create a vaccine and you don't know what is in it, think about it. We don't even know what is in it because we're just taking a shot. We're not even analyzing, sequencing what is in this vaccine. Then what it is, basically what you're saying is that you are the mercy. The beggar is always at the mercy of the giver. And that giver, especially when you know his history with you has not been great, can do anything you want. So it's a survive. The same thing the US wouldn't say China should ship vaccine here. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that because they understand how the world works. So my thing is that sometimes
it's not about maintaining. It's about what is it that you are maintaining. You know, sometimes people, you know, in the process of pregnancy, there will be a child, an embryo, that is going to be very difficult to have a lively, you know, survive. And people make the decision, say, okay, the quality of life is better than just having birth and the child just struggling for the whole rest of their life. So they terminate the pregnancy. So sometimes you support the potential. You don't want people just to exist so they can just continue being non-contributing people in the world. So if we are not willing to, go ahead.
So you're advocating that the U.S. should not give Africa, let's say, the vaccines because Africa is not doing well enough to make their own.
This is what I'm saying. If if Africa wants to be a beggar for its entire history, they should come out and say that this is what we've lowered ourselves to, right? This is what we lower ourselves to. Then they should come and say, but then you cannot claim equality, equivalence, when you have subjugated yourself. So are you telling me that we cannot build a world-class research center in any of the continent, that we can bring our scientists and start working on these things?
We can. But again, you talk about R&D. You know, it costs a lot of money.
No, let's go 8 billion.
The research that went into the vaccine, it's a lot of money that no African company can come up with.
No, I mean collaboratively. So I mean the continent. I'm talking about the continent. We can. Yeah. I mean, I think collectively, the African president probably have stole over $1 trillion if you add all of them together, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe we take half. And maybe it take 20 years, right? Maybe it take 20 years to get the knowledge and stuff like that. But you get to a point that you are independent. So it's about independence. So for me, I can't respect a situation where a population have developed themselves to be a complete beggars.
Well, but the reality is, Tony, we live on Earth. We all live on Earth. Mm-hmm. That's the reality. Correct. And if one part of the world thinks that they're gonna hoard everything and they're gonna treat their people and they're gonna be okay, this is a world economy. You know, whatever happens in Africa, I'll be maybe very small, it will still affect the rest of the world.
Yeah, so they gave it up for strategic reasons.
It is your duty. Absolutely. It's their duty. But I get it. I get it. Look,
if it
we're
becomes
greedy.
Duty, okay, if it becomes duty, this is what I'm saying. If it becomes duty, because like we just said in the beginning, there's a cost, right? There's a cost, right? So there's a cost. So now you take the free vaccine and they want you to destabilize your country, right? Because like I said, the same way when we go buy loans, right? It comes with certain form of agreement. So my attitude would be, at a certain point, we have to look at it as a survival, because none of these other groups is looking for Africa to produce anything for their survival. No. Right? For their survival. So for me, it's just the mindset that's saying that we cannot be the continent that is always crying for a savior. Mm-hmm. And it's not even good for young Africans to see that everything that is for survival is coming from outside. That kills your spirit, because that is why the white Jesus complex thing come in, because you are looking for a savior. So at a certain point, if that means that half of if they're not willing to step up and do this thing, so let it chip fall where it may be. Let it fall maybe. Let it fall maybe.
So let all the Africans die.
No, they're not. Some of them will build immunity. And next time they say, listen, the last time they came here, it killed a lot of people. So we better figure this thing out. You know that, Joe. at certain
I
point,
mean,
the doctor said we got to put a plug on this
I
one because it's
get your
causing my.
point. I get your point.
So
But nobody on the continent is anywhere near, you know, what you're talking about. We are nowhere near it. And the reality is the rest of the world has to help because we
well,
live on the United States of Earth.
no,
All of
I
us.
don't think they need. Okay, so let me give you a scenario. Let's say they move every. Let's say China, we exchange the continent, right? All the Chinese go to Africa, all the Africans go to China.
Hmm.
Come back 50 years. Do you think the Chinese will be reaching out to the Africans who are in
Oh,
China?
it would take less than that.
Okay, so you're making my point. My point is that
Yeah,
either we believe we are capable or we are not capable, right?
sure,
I
sure.
think we are capable. I think it's just a group, right? I think we are capable.
We are,
So
but the reality is, Tony, it's not gonna get there.
because Johnson and Johnson is over, because I can tell you the stuff they're giving out there is not what you're taking out here. I can tell you that. I can tell you the stuff that is being shipped over there is not what you get
God, I hope
it.
not.
Even the test kit is not what you get in here.
I
So
hope not.
so I hope maybe coronavirus, COVID-19 will be the thing. I guess a lot of Africans didn't die, compared to other part of the world. Could be a thing that we say like, okay, listen, maybe it takes us 30, 40 years, but in the second generation we'll have R&D in all this, at least one in the north, east, west, south, that is capable to be working on quality research so we can make our own inventions, our own
Hmm.
vaccine. I think
Hmm.
other than that, because the moral obligation is coming with a hook. It's not free.
African leaders are not thinking about that, Tony.
You see, it's not free. So while we think it's free, it's not free. And and
It's
and it's
not.
like at a certain point, we just have to have dignity and respect and believe in ourselves that we don't have to be the world's beggars.
I
And
get it,
unless we want to come out and say, listen, maybe we can compete, maybe we don't think we are capable,
but we're
then
not
I
there.
understand.
We're not there. We're not
So
there. And we're
um
nowhere near close. We can't even agree on forming a United States of Africa. We can't even agree on that.
I mean it's
So we're not close to where you're thinking of. Yeah, yeah, we might have the resources as far as money is concerned, but
the
it's
mindset. Well, I think like I said, if COVID, that's why I said like maybe if the chips fall where it is, maybe the ones that survive will be like, okay, hey, listen,
This I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe my science background. It's not everything you keep. Nature, grows and dies. Some things must just gotta go. It's non-productive. It just gotta go. Better species that are coming, better people that want to compete, better people that wants to do something to shape the
So
world and stuff like that.
let the species die out.
no, I mean it happens in nature, man. You don't let certain things that is only going to take resources, but it's not going to give to nature
Sure,
Because
sure.
more than that,
because it's a matter of time. Who knows? They'll put something there for sterilization. You know,
Mm, God
then
knows.
listen. If you don't want to take care of what you need to take off, and you beg and they give you poison, it's on you.
Mm.
It's really it's on you.
I
So
believe again, that's me, right? I believe in the good of people. And if they say they're bringing this stuff to Africa, I'm hoping it's at least 90% what I'm getting here. You know,
you're hoping.
I
You,
am. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I am. Call me naive, Tony, but I mean, it's easy for us to. It would be easy for somebody to look into it and see exactly what is in it and compare to
over
what
there, but we don't hear R&D.
eventually, Tony, somebody's gonna figure it out. Somebody gonna
You
figure it
know,
out.
if it was coming from outside here, take samples before they even start. Listen, our place.
Oh, God help us.
Listen, it's about black excellence, and I'm saying that listen, we really, really need to get it together very soon,
We
and
do.
and depend on our own creativity, ingenuity, our knowledge skills, and even if it takes us 100 years, we should. I
Yep.
think it's something we should start because soon somebody's going to start controlling your food, right? It's just maybe it's just me. I just don't want to give a total control to anything to anybody who just can decide, you know, how I live, when I live, where I live, and that kind of stuff. And I think we really, really need to. Other than that, we are going to be the beggars of the world, and that is not going to build the self-esteem, the confidence in the youth. The best thing you do for your child is to see mommy and daddy are champions. That's the
Mhm.
first thing they should see. Okay, and we can always
Mhm.
go back in Egyptian times. Listen, we don't care about that right now. 21st century. We want us to be able to put it in our place that is prideful. So our kids can look at us and say, listen, I can see somebody in my lifetime, this black person who created this and stuff like that. We need that. And I think, like you said, it's true. The leaders don't think like that, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But other than that, that's why we get no respect anyway. Because some of our leaders are going there and begging on the ground, on their knees, right? And so when you do that,
The whole thing is bad. It's just bad. So it's not free. There's a cost to it.
there's a
That's
cost to it.
true.
We might get it for free, but
But
No,
trust
it's
me,
not. This. It's no
it,
such thing as free.
it's not free,
Yep.
So let's see this. All right. So everyone, thanks for PG who was here. We have KK. Thanks for joining us. Oh well, it's true. No, it's really true. It's really true. And PG is what you said is true. It's there's something is coming, but I think we're just
Absolutely.
wandering in the world and stuff like that. So I mean,